Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the third heat from the Racer of the Lake, which happened last month, which was a slalom event, a full fleet event, so everyone starts in the same heat. If you haven't seen the first two heats, they're already online on my channel, so you can go back and watch them, but now let's get into the third heat. I'm going to comment the action as it happens, so let's get the clip rolling. So we're starting off around 1 minute away from the start, so you can see here everybody is trying to position themselves perfectly for a good start. And what happens is you see more or less two groups of surfers forming. The one is more upwind to the boat side, while the other group of surfers are going downwind and starting on the pin end. So what I'm doing is I'm starting more towards the boat side, but I'm not getting into the mix with all the surfers on the boat. I'm starting a little bit lower, and this worked out quite well for me, as you can see now, because I have a clear run. I don't have anyone so close to me that I get bad wind, and now I can really push downwind onto the guys who were starting on the pin end. So yeah, now I can use this advantage and go downwind, have a better speed, and kind of squeeze out the people downwind of me. And I'm positioning really nicely here. Yeah, you can see it happening here really well. I can squeeze out the guy below me just because I have a better angle and can go deeper downwind and have a better speed. And yeah, what you see now, the waves are actually increasing because we start off in more or less a mud field where you have a really good speed, and now we're getting into the waves where it is more choppy, which makes it kind of interesting because the first jibe mark is coming up, as you can see. And I'm currently in 4th position, which is really good for me. And also you see one guy just crashed, and here I made a mistake. I went downwind of him. I should have overtaken him on the upwind side, and instead I'm squeezed behind him and I don't overtake him, and I lose a lot of ground here where I could have pushed into the top 3, but now I'm still in 4th position behind the guy who actually crashed. So he got back up really quickly, but you can expect that from the top 3 guys that they are getting back up quickly if they fall. Now it's a drag race to the second mark again, and we're still in the wavy part and coming up onto the flat part again now. So the speed here increases a lot, I'd say around 5 kilometers an hour. So I really like this event because you actually have flat water while slalom sailing, which is really fun, and you have a higher speed. As you can see here, I cannot really make up any ground on the top 3 guys because of course they have a really good speed. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep my position and position myself well for the second jibe mark. But what happens here is the wind really disappears before the second jibe mark, and I wanted to go more downwind into the jibe mark, but instead I have to go upwind to keep planing, and I'm jibing really far away from the second jibe mark. And what you see here is one guy can squeeze inside because he had a better line and made a tighter jibe. So I overtook the guy on the duotone, but instead I lost the place because I made the jibe too wide. So now again it's a drag race to the third jibe mark, and yeah, I'm still in 4th position I think by this time. I overtook one guy, but another guy overtook me. And as you can see, I'm coming in very low towards the jibe mark again. And there's a guy upwind of me, and he can actually make a better line and overtake me on this jibe mark because I have to jibe really far away while he can make a tight jibe and squeeze me out. So I think I really have to work on my jibes, not just the technique, but especially the tactics involved in jibing and positioning yourself well out of the jibe. This is what I'm really lacking, I think, at the moment. My speed is good, but I think the jibes there's a lot to improve, and also the starts, of course. Yeah, so now it's a race towards the finish line, which is actually positioned between the last boy and the pier, so you kind of have to jibe into the finish line on that event. I think they're doing it because it makes it easier for them to see who is in which position. And as you can see now, Chris just overtook me because he was coming from above and could squeeze me out. Same like what happened to the guys I was squeezing out on the first leg happened to me now. And as you can see, I put in the speed. I was around 14 kilometers an hour when he overtook me. So I really wasn't going full speed. Maybe I was just relaxing for a little bit because I thought my 4th place was secure. And now I'm trying to pick speed back up, but it's too late now because Chris is a really fast guy. I'm going to around 55 to 58 kilometers an hour, but it's just not enough to overtake him again. So yeah, I think I just lost a little bit of concentration there. And this is what caused me to lose another place. So in the end, you can see here I finished in 6th position, which was really frustrating for me because I was actually in 4th, and on the first jibe mark you saw that I could have actually gone into 3rd if I jibed a little bit better. But I think there's a lot to learn from this video. There is for me certainly, and I hope you can also take away something if you're racing yourself or you just enjoy watching these kinds of videos for fun, you know. So I really hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one, guys.